lovelies, Nightshade here, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we are going to cover the limited Purification ability set, Timeless Melody. You can expect to see all the evolutions showcased on all different skin tones, including the makeup. And as well, I will be touching base on the actual Purification ability itself. How is it used? Is it useful? What can and can't you do with it? And more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. The recolors themselves are absolutely magical. I love how realistic the caged crinoline looks. I love the shines and the shimmers, the Feywish sprites on the actual gown. The attention to detail on this gown is astounding. It literally does remind me of some of those old creepy dolls that maybe your mothers or your grandmothers used to collect when you were younger. The hair, the curls, they are so voluminous. And once again, just a flashback to those porcelain dolls. Like, it is 100% on point. And the makeup has this soft glow. This is one of the reasons why I'm saying that they nailed this set overall, because that glow is akin to what you would see on these porcelain dolls. So now that we've seen the aesthetically pleasing part of the set, let's get into specifics. Currently, we have 3 Purification outfits. We have our base set, which is Wind of Purity. We have our Permanent Time Resonance Banner outfit, Crystal Poems, and our latest set, Timeless Melody. Here are side-by-side comparisons of each of the sets. As you can tell, when you're just charging up, the effect for Timeless Melody is definitely different in comparison. On its own, without actually engaging the ability, when you shoot, everything does remain the same with the exception of the effect. When it comes down to it, Timeless Melody is still on a class of its own simply because of its additional skill. Now let's go ahead and see what exactly that entails. This set is specifically designed to help you with battling Esseling. It can be super useful with any type of combat, but personally, I think it's better suited whenever you are fighting a large group of Esseling. The skill itself, unfortunately, is not unlimited use. Well, so to say. You have 6 charges to use whenever you activate the skill initially. These 6 charges can be aimed at any target of your choosing once they are asleep. And once those charges are depleted, you do have to wait 20 to 25 seconds for the skill to recharge once more. Once it is fully recharged, you can go ahead and activate it once again. As you may have noticed on my screen, I have Feywish sprite continuously floating around me in a ring. The Feywish sprites are sort of a cosmetic effect, so to say, that lets you know how many charges you have. When you have 1 Feywish sprite and 1 orb, that's 1 charge. When you have an additional orb on the first Feywish sprite, that's 2 charges. For the 3rd charge, a second Feywish sprite with 1 orb appears. For the 4th charge, the second Feywish sprite gets a 2nd orb. For the 5th charge, a 3rd Feywish sprite appears with 1 orb. And for the 6th charge, the 2nd orb on the 3rd Feywish sprite appears. If you're wondering if these effects stay in photo mode, at the time of me making this video, they still were present during photo mode. There was no way that I could get them to hide. The only way that I was able to get them to permanently go away was if I unequipped the set. So anytime that you actually activate this skill, you always will see the attack animation. The awesome thing about this skill animation is that whenever it goes into play, whatever actual evolution we have equipped will be displayed in the animation. And no, you cannot skip the actual animation. You literally have to sit and watch it every single time. Personally, I am not complaining, but I do know how some of you might feel that it might get repetitive. I am very confident that this will be something that will be addressed in future versions, and they will eventually add a skip animation like they did with all the other ability outfits. So let's say you're battling Esseling and there's not that many. There's only 3, there's only 4. Whatever the case may be, if you did not use all of your charges at the end when you disengage, even if you have remaining charges, they will be completely depleted, meaning you will have 0 and will have to wait till it regenerates. You unfortunately cannot use a skill until it is fully recharged. You can't use it once it hits that 4 or 5 mark. You have to wait until the 6th mark. The good thing though is that the skill doesn't time out once it's engaged. So let's say you're in a small Esseling camp and you only use 2 of your charges. Instead of disengaging, exiting out, you can simply travel while you're in melody form, lullaby form, whatever you want to call it, and go to the next camp. The sad part is that, as some of you mentioned, it is slow, so you literally have to just glide your way there slowly until you finally reach the camp, which if you're patient, it won't bother you. If you're impatient, you will struggle. But I did think that that was such a cool feature. I did test this out for a good 15 minutes. Yes, I was literally sitting in front of my computer for 15 minutes, just moving ever so slowly. I did not test it past that point, so I do not know if it can go further than that, but be my guest if you want to, and let me know down below in the comments. The skill will end when an enemy attacks you that is not within the lullaby range. So if you are in a large camp and there are airborne Esselings that are shooting at you, or maybe they're at the top of pillars and you don't have access to them just yet, if they actually hit you, your skill will disengage. Now this leads me up to the next point. Does it cover airborne Esseling? Yes it does. It doesn't matter if they're in the ground, up in the air, in a pillar. If they are within your range, within your circle, you are going to be able to put them to sleep. So now let me just cover a few other things to note. You cannot jump while you're in the skill. Jumping will disengage. It doesn't work on main bosses. I tried Shigda, I tried Cage Greed, I tried Boldy, and of course, they did not work. However, it does actually work on the Grudge Bag, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Another thing to note is that this immediately takes care of those pesky Esseling that have shield or armor. You don't need the piercing whim fragrance if you are activating the skill. You literally just attack them and they are gone, which I am in love with. When you're in skill mode, whim fragrances do not apply since the skill is basically its own enhancement. However, if you are just using the regular ability outfit, your whim fragrance selections will apply. And lastly, I saved the best for last because honestly, I think this one was the best thing ever. I mean, in general, I just think this suit is OP. I know that many of you might not think so. Many of you might disagree, but I am so hyped for this suit. I was one of those people that at first was like, meh, pass, nah, I don't care. I mean, not really pass because I'm a completionist. I aim to get every single set in the game and to their full evolutions. But this set, once I was able to play with it and I'm just floored. I love it. Anyways, besides the point, greedy pouches. This set works on greedy pouches. Yes, you heard that right. Honestly, whenever I discovered this, I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, literally, I was so excited. I was so happy. It's so cool. Now, one of the other features that I do want to cover that might not get as much attention as everything else is the fact that we can now put animals to sleep, y'all. Like, yeah, you heard that right. This set does not only put Esseling to sleep, but we are putting animals to sleep, which means that we are like getting 2 for the price of 1. I feel like I am just shocked because now this makes it easier to groom animals. Like, I want a Flora sheep. I don't want it to run away. Go to sleep, girl. So as far as what animals you can actually groom, it seems to be your blue rarity and brown rarity resources. And lastly, of course, I wanted to talk about 2 of the final cosmetic items, which are Momo's Cloak and the creative item Pure Reverie, which is the photo prop item. I just love the fact that they gave him a nose because we all know that several of us in the community already call him a clown, and it's just perfect. And no one asked, but I wanted to test it out just to see how this cloak was going to look in the shrinking ability. And it's so funny. You can barely see Nikki, but she's there hanging on for dear life. Now, I want to talk about Pure Reverie, the creative item that we are given once we pull a total of 160 times. First and foremost, how to equip it. You're going to head on over to your backpack, and once you're there, you're going to go to the very last tab, the one that has a cube at the very bottom. You're going to select that tab, then you are going to select the item itself. Once you select the item, you go ahead and click on equip, and once you click on equip, it's going to ask you in what slot you want to place this item in. Once you do that, you can go back to your home screen and you can simply place the item anywhere that you'd like. If the square is green, that means that you can place it in that location. But if you do get a red square, that means that you cannot place it wherever it is that you want to put it at. So you have to change your placement option. It is absolutely magical. It is the perfect scenery for Christmas, if I do say so myself. I tested it out. I just took 2 photos, but I was in love. Playing around with the settings, I know that we can get just these mystical and magical photos. If you time it correctly, you can even get the snowflakes out of frame. It's just wonderful. You can interact with the actual item to have Nikki dancing. You can simply place it and take photos outside of it or inside of it without interacting. It's gorgeous, I swear. So, yeah, that's it for me, guys. I hope that this video helps you figure out whether this suit is worth it or whether you still will decide to skip it. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Will you be pulling? Will you be skipping? I want to hear it all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!